Now, I'm sure for a lot of y'all, you're all having a hard time this year with a lot of things happening in our world, like massive layoffs at jobs, and even other drama that's going on too with lack of support from just the government itself. I will say is that I'm actually feeling this pretty hard right now, and it's kind of crazy because I'm actually, moving, trying to move into a house and everything, and of course, something comes up in the most unexpected way ever, and I want to tell you guys a situation that's kind of happening right now. So I've been showing up to work, tired from all the moving and whatnot, but I've been very transparent, talking to my managers and whatnot, and everything seemed to be fine for the most part. But the crazy thing that's happened is that new management came in and took over, and these are the type of managers that just kind of wanted to have their rules their own little way and basically treat everybody like a number and get rid of them just for any reason whatsoever. So I have this one manager, right, that was actually very friendly towards me and everybody else, where he seems like that type of manager where he would be very chill and laid back, but actually he does a lot of things behind your back, unfortunately, because this is what happened to me where I had a manager at work where he was just being really friendly with everybody. I always did what he asked. I was always respectful and transparent of why I was tired, from moving and whatnot, because I was working till 5 in the morning while trying to move and pack my shit so I get my money and then move to my house, right? The next day when that happened, my manager comes up to me and he asked about why I had 30 minutes of idle time, which is not being able to scan for anything or whatnot. So what's actually kind of funny and interesting is that my stomach was really upset near the end of that shift because unfortunately I had brought a lot of Halloween candy, right, to work just to eat, just to save a lot of money. And what happened was I ate a little too much and my stomach got really fucked up. So at the end of that shift, I had to sit down on the toilet for a little bit just so I could get this shit out of my system. It was awful, bro. And I was also waiting in the bathroom too in line because there's some people in these bathrooms. I like to camp in there for a good period of time. And I know it was the end of the shift, so I figured why not just try to get into the bathroom so I don't fucking crap myself. It was pretty crazy, but I went ahead and explained the situation, what happened, and the guy sounded pretty laid back and respectful and cool, and he was actually appreciating my honesty, right? Well, you figured that would end right then and there, right? So all of a sudden, like a couple days go by, and I come to find out, like randomly, that I have a random final warning of a write-up warning, or I get terminated for, and I had to fix this in 90 days, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Like, I was never told I was getting written up, and I was never told I was getting written up for what reason, right? So I go to look on my app to see my documents and stuff for coachings and policies, and I noticed I had two write-ups written behind me behind my back, and it was really shady and weird because one of the write-ups was on a day that I never got confronted by at all, and it was weird as hell. It was a day where I came in to use some PTO for about an hour because I was moving, and then I had to look for a scanner because there was no scanners when I showed up a little late, but I had PTO to cover it. And then all of a sudden, like the guy told me I didn't scan anything for almost an hour and was counting that PTO I used to be late for work for as a late quote unquote startup. I thought that shit was very fucked up and weird that he did not tell me this, and he seemed very fake, obviously. And this guy is like a young, like college graduate student, and he seemed pretty nice to me, and I was pretty nice to him on a friendly, professional level. But bro, like something like this is really fucked up and slimy. Unfortunately, I try to get this situation all figured out, so I went ahead and talked to my manager that did the write-ups and whatnot, and he did not tell me anything about me getting written up or anything like that, and I found that shit really shady because like the how it was done was like I was written up like on my day off, like days after this incident happened, and I was not told about it whatsoever of any kind. I was only asked for about 30 minutes of like idle time, but on the document it said like I had over like 2 hours of idle time. I was very confused and pissed off, obviously. So I went ahead and asked my manager about it, and he acted like he didn't know anything about it. But I knew it was him because when I read the document, it tells you the username of who wrote the document and who did a write up. I know something wasn't right on the second write up because a different manager like was doing it on a different shift I usually don't work, and he even admitted that he didn't even write this, and I thought it was really strange. So I went ahead and asked around a couple coworkers about the situation, and they were telling me that a lot of these people were getting the same problems with random idle tie write-ups and whatnot. And it was weird because everyone like was working, but there was a lot of stuff that was very slow, or there was tasks that they had us do that didn't involve scanning on the thing. I do remember that day when I was asked about like idle time and whatnot. I was definitely trying my best to fix everything I could, but it was a slow day. But I was asked to load trucks up and without scanning anything for a good period of time and all the things too. and he was there for all of it, and I just was very confused and not very happy about what's going on. So right now my job is on the line, which is kind of crazy, and unfortunately it ain't just me, thank God, that's going through this problem. And I kind of wish that, like, this is like, I wouldn't wish this on anyone, honestly. The interesting thing was, I saw something that I could appeal this, like, final write-up situation, so I went ahead and appealed it, and I have to wait a couple days just for them to talk to me and explain the situation, what was going on. Obviously, the situation was not talked to me properly or thoroughly, and it was definitely very unprofessional and messed up. It was wild, too, because I've always been respectful and nice to these managers, so I just don't think it's weird that someone would have a reason to write me up over small, petty stuff like that. It's not that I wasn't working or nothing. It was more of like just random idle time that they added up around the whole shift on a slow day. Because for some odd reason, peak season doesn't start till the 22nd of November, obviously. And for the last couple of weeks, it has been pretty slow, but I just feel like this is just an attempt to like try to get rid of people, because this Amazon company has been getting rid of a lot of people around this time for some random reasons, either for AI or other reasons as well. The massive layoffs are kind of crazy around this time of the year. And it's kind of ironic too, because they need all the people they can for peak season. So I don't know why they're trying to get rid of people who have benefits or whatever, because other friends I've told too about this situation, they had like write-ups like this that were phantom within a week or two, just to try to get rid of them. But thankfully they were able to appeal theirs and then move to this different location. And that's what I plan on doing, is trying to remove like this, like appeal this write-up and hope it gets accepted if I just communicate through it, and go to a different facility, because I've been trying to go to a different one anyways, because it is a little bit farther than I want it to be. And it's just sad that like this has to happen this type of way, and you just never know with management at some of these jobs, man. Even if they are friendly or nice on paper, even though I never gave them any of my personal information or my personal life info, it's just kind of sad how two-faced and fake a lot of these people are just to get a head up in life. I've also heard too that there's like, quotas they gotta meet just to write random people up at this company for no reason, just to meet a quota. And it's really sad, because I found information about that online, and it's kind of ridiculous to see what type of fucking companies will do just to screw people over, even if they are good and honest workers. A lot of these corporations don't seem to care, which is fine with me. But man, I am a little concerned, because this is a very bad time to try to lose my job over something this petty and ridiculous. And also on one of my reports too, that he tried to twist one of my stories and words on the report, saying that I had over 150 minutes of idle time just because I was eating Halloween candy. I'm just like, bro, what? That had nothing to do with why I was like, I had 30 minutes of idle time. Like, where the fuck you come up with that shit? Like, I'm not even kidding, man. It's kind of ridiculous of this whole situation. And it was even weird too, because I was even trying to talk to him, saying like, I don't even want to get in trouble, man. I even asked for help of like how I could, do better, I guess. And he didn't even really give me a solid answer or advice, but he just kind of played respectful and nice card, and then boom, just pulled this behind my back. And it's really fucking, like I said, unprofessional and just ridiculous. I really do hope those people who are hardworking, whatever it's like a warehouse or whatever job they do, bro, I hope you get treated the best you can, because for me, I've never gotten fired at an actual regular traditional job. And this could actually happen to me for the first time just out of nowhere, which is fucking crazy. I just wish that, people like this would actually communicate thoroughly and just tell me before it gets to this type of level. But like I said, most companies or corporations just don't give a fuck but making money. And they'll definitely do anything in their power to screw people over and try to, get the best they can, because at the end of the day, man, I'm just a number to them, unfortunately, even though I'm on this flexible stuff, like with the scheduling and whatnot. And that's what sucks about this whole situation, is I really do like my job a lot. And I actually do like the flexible schedules a lot too, because it's really nice being able to just pick your hours and to show up and work, because not a lot of people can do it. But honestly, it makes me feel alive too, so that I can be able to make YouTube videos for y'all and do whatever I want and just kind of see what happens, The good thing is, like, I got temp agencies and backup stuff I could do. If anything, I could just upload more videos on here until the meantime, just to hold me through until I find something better, because I am actually looking for another job right now just because of this situation, just in case something happens. So far, nothing has happened yet, but I am searching a little bit through so I know what's at least out there. What also makes me lose a lot of respect for my manager, too, is that, like, he knew I was moving, and I had proof that I was moving and everything, but I guess he just doesn't seem to care, or some higher ups are just making him do shit. Either way, it's just not right. I think it's really messed up what these companies try to pull on people. Sometimes jobs just want to work people like slaves to the point where they can't have any type of idle time at all, which is freaking crazy. What's really fishy and weird too is that like I never had any type of write-ups at this job at all, at this one like in particular. The last facility I did have some write-ups, but at this one it was like squeaky clean. That's how I got like the blue badge with benefits and whatnot really quickly, which is nice. But it's such a shame that, you know, new management will take over and then they just don't care. They just start abusing the system. Anyways, y'all, I've been yapping way too much about this, but I appreciate everybody that's been listening to this whole situation because I didn't expect anything like this to happen or to even make a video talking about this, but I'm glad that you're all good, open ears, and I do appreciate every one of you that are watching the channel. And I hope that this situation comes through really good because I don't want this shit to happen to anybody. There is some good news in my personal life, though, besides this situation going on, is I at least have a job for now. And, you know, my YouTube money has actually been going up quite a bit because of November and December has been really good months for just ad revenue. So maybe this could be a good opportunity to go really ham during this month and just to see what happens on top of it. I've also had thoughts about starting another like YouTube channel too, just in case something like this happens, and maybe build that shit up. Because last time when I was unemployed, bro, I made this channel. It's just kind of funny how things happen sometimes. Until further ado, I'll see y'all later, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.